knows very well that Kenyans are jobless. This is a government that is increasing taxes and making even the investors to fly away to go outside the country. This is the same government that is trying to bring taxes and impose taxes on everything. Then it's also very unfortunate because this same government, with the high taxes that they are collecting, our CS, Dr. Njogona, is it Njogona Ondung, goes to parliament and then
the
tells,
professor.
yes, and then tells the people that the government does not have money, that they might even fail to pay for the salaries of the civil servants. Then we ask ourselves, where is the money going? From a fine of 200, a fine of 200 not having from a fine of 200 for just not having a notice on your vehicle to 200,000, from a fine of 500 to 500,000. Where is the money going? These people are looting this money. That is the only thing we can say. These people are looting, and I think the people of Kenya, they should be awake. They should know that their money is being taken somewhere. That is the only language or the only truth that we can tell the people of Kenya. It is high time, because the other day I saw a whole CS, the CS of transport, His Excellency Kipchumba Murkomen. Kipchumba Murkomen is just putting on a watch that is costing 4 point something million. And then we ask ourselves, where are we headed as a country? This government is not for people. They are going against the promises that they give the suffering people of Kenya.
You're talking of that. Did you see how the members of parliament, they were going, it's usually very okay to have the sports, the football club, the football matches for the holidays. But did you see how they carry the money in the bags? And you wonder, where do they get all this money? And yet the people are suffering. They carry the money in the bags.
It's the people of Kenya should know that they are alone. They have the government that really fought and promised that would take care of them. They should know that this government is not with them. This government is there to milk them. They are going to be milked until there will be nothing left to be milked. And the only thing we would be left as a country is some of us, the rate of young youths killing themselves, it's at a higher rate. People are really dying in Kenya. Most of them are committing suicide just because of the high cost of living that they can't manage. Everything is just too expensive in Kenya. There are no jobs. People cannot even, you'll find so many people are missing meals. In Kenya today, having 2 meals or just one it's like a luxury. It is so unfortunate that the other day we went to Kasarani. There was a graduation happening there for the KMTC students. I think around 23,000 of them were graduating over there. While we were there, almost 25,000 students were graduating, and then the DP came, and I actually arrived when we were there. If you saw the convoy that the deputy president entered with in Kasarani, we were with Migoda. I'm telling you, a convoy of V8 machines, so many of them. Then you ask yourself, the same deputy is going to speak on the podium and he tells the students who are graduating that we don't have jobs. Prepare that you're going to go start looking for a job outside the country. As a country, we have everything. They can do whatever it takes so that everybody is absorbed in the Republic of Kenya. Imagine you've gone through the whole system. You've paid the school fee for primary, high school, and the college or university. And then someone tells
Mhm.
you that there are no jobs, you should look
Jobs.
for. And at the same time, they increased the passport thing, the prices of passports. So how are we even going to go outside the country to look for jobs?
Yeah, so that is. I think Kenya should have a conversation with itself and say what is the way forward for the country, because the hustlers, the so-called hustlers, who are the majority, are not are not are not having it. It is difficult on them. And maybe before we go to the Njuguna CS for Treasury case, there's also another amendment that was proposed by Kimani Chungwa, and this one is kind of like bringing kind of like misunderstanding between the AG and the uh, public service, the head of public service. And this is about like where some powers or some duties that are supposed to be done by attorney general, they want to transfer them to the head of public service. I don't know the reason why, or I don't know why Ichunga has that informed decision. But this one, to me, I would look it in terms of political. And actually, that story was run by the Daily Nation on. I think you read it. Daily Nation on. I think it was on 8th, right? Whereby they were talking of something like the new national government administrative law bill 23, where attempts to clip the influence of attorney general. And attorney general, actually it says that attorney general, who is Justin Muturi, he's complaining that some of those bills do not pass through him, yet is the legal advisor to the president, is like he's the legal advisor. And now you wonder what's happening. Even the attorney general is not being involved in some of the things that is taking place in government. So which means the government, first of all, is not doing well economically. Secondly, the offices are fighting for power within the offices, whereby now it is between the maybe attorney general and the head of public service, that is Muturi, and is it on Kosgei, you know, and whereby it the, the report says by the Daily Nation that the custodian of the seal is going to be with Kosgei. It has never happened. Yeah, it has always been with the attorney general. So I don't know in terms of politics, because like something like that, you look at politically, or what is happening.
Uh, I think politically, me, I might look it in this way. First,
Yeah.
I don't trust Attorney General sentiments. I think it's not genuine. Maybe the statement by the AG
Yeah.
is meant to divert attention of the public.
Mm.
And when it is meant to divert attention of the public, so that the
Mm.
public cannot concentrate on the ongoing
Mm.
amendment of the Constitution. I
Yeah.
think what is at stake right away is
Mm.
that the people
Or somebody's calling you.
in the
Maybe you can meet
Constitution,
the guy. Uh-huh.
and I'm saying, you can hear me?
Yeah, can you hear you now?
I'm saying, the Attorney General is not genuine in statement. It's
Mm-hmm.
just diverting the attention of the public. He's aware of what is going on, and is aware that because why am I saying that he is aware? AG said
Mm-hmm.
that at his function are being
Mm-hmm.
devolved. That's a lie. There's nothing like being devolved. What we understand as the executive, the
Mm-hmm.
functions of AG are being transferred from AG's office to the head of public service. So
Yeah,
AG
that's true.
first is lying to the people that my functions are being devolved and I'm not being consulted. No, he's lying. He's literally diverting attention. He knows that his functions are being transferred to the head of public service and is aware.
So, what is
And
going to be the work of Attorney General?
the Attorney General is primary work in the Constitution is the chief legal advisor to the president, and
Mm-hmm.
also is the friend to the court, the amicus curiae, and also he represents the public interest in the case that involves the public and the other party. But whatever from our initial conversation, the amendments, this transfer of the function of AG to public service, these people are in the process of amending the constitution. Because the AG is devolved, even in the county government, we have the County Government Act 2020. There's Office of the Attorney General, County Attorney. And the role of the county attorney are similar to the role of the AG at the national government. So by transferring the public seal to the public head of the public service, it simply shows us that there is this consolidation of power by the president. You know, president is the head of the executive, and attorney general is also a cabinet in that executive. So taking some functions of the cabinet to the head of public service, it means you are taking them to the state house. And as the state house, we have the president. So they are maybe preparing for a time whereby if we come to a point of elections, the president can determine the outcome of that election either way, because it's weakening the office of AG. The public AG's office is not an individual office, that's a public office. So once our power as the people have been transferred from our office to head of public service, it means that these people, they have some intention with the forthcoming elections. They have the intention of amending the constitution because they are dealing with the administrative process. And also to respond to the first question, which I never respond about the issue of corruption. Why is it that at they're increasing maybe 200 shillings to 200,000 or 500 shillings to 500,000? Look at the docket. Who is the head of the docket of the traffic police? It is the administrative, is the CS for the interior. And if you want to look into this context, in the political context, Kithure Kindiki was supposed to be Williams Ruto's running mate in the last election.
Yeah.
And up to now, he is dissatisfied with the position of internal. And look at where their major proposal of increasement of fines, they're in the docket of the internal security. And if at all it is true, according to the public opinion, that these increasements are meant to loot our money, look at the docket where this money is being looted, and look at the future politics. If in case they want to change their positions, they want to have money. Because I heard that Kithure Kindiki was dismissed on the ground that he was not a billionaire like the Gachagua. So to bring in the political context, that these corruptions are meant for the 2027 elections, and also this transfer of power from public offices to other offices which are closer to the head of the state is a matter of consolidating power. For example, if you want to look President William Ruto, he's been moving outside other countries, outside Africa. And we have the cabinet secretary for the foreign affairs. We have the high commissioners. We have ambassadors. So he has literally taken up the work of these people. One person is the ambassador, is the high commissioner, is the foreign affairs CS. Now again, he want to be the AG to do public service, to the head of the public service, by taking that seal to the head of the public service. So literally, we are dealing with a shrewd politician, a very tactical politician. And as we are here, we will see. Come 2027, there is going to be a lot of the amendment to this constitution in terms of taking power.
Yeah, but if you look at what the Daily Nation was writing about this, and it says like the Attorney General is not aware of such bills that are being proposed or amendments that are being proposed and taken to Parliament, whereby he should. It is usually his mandate as an advisor or as a chief legal advisor to the government. When you make proposal of these amendments, actually he should be putting his input as the can advise the government or can advise the president concerning that bill that you are trying to propose to go to Parliament for amendment. But like if this is just bypassing him, so he doesn't have anything to say about it, and it seems like, oh, maybe because you can remember what happened when we had election, people thought maybe the head of public service, they say how they went to the bombers and do that, you know so if the president is trying to play it safe by making sure, the way you've just said, by making sure that all this, because all this, especially the seal and any other, they say that the seal and any other instrument of state should be transferred to the head of public service, and the head of public service is somebody who is, I think, is closer to the president. First of all, he comes from his tribe, without a lie, that we know. So is that consolidating power, or Makobura, what do you think?
I think the role of the AG is very clear. Mostly is to advise the president, especially on the legal matters, and also to represent the public in whatever is at a stand. Now, I think I've been looking at the AG Muturi. Sometimes back, remember when this same government in the Department of Interior, when they were increasing the cost of passport, ID. I remember this day that the president was going to give the speech at the parliament, the State of the Nation. The AG was asked by journalists that, what is your take, Mr. AG, on this issue of increase in the cost of passport, the ID, and the marriage? The AG clearly stated that he's not aware. He was not aware. And that tells you one thing. He was not aware. He's the legal advice of the president. He should know anything that is the government is doing, especially when it pertains or when uh, it gets into this point where, okay, you see the same thing. Remember, it was taken to court, and now his services are needed as the AG. Why would this government make such kind of proposals by not really
Engaging.
involving him or engaging him? And then later on, when this thing has been taken to court, now
Court.
they take this whole thing into his table. That tells you that there's a power tussle. There's a fight for power, and I think the whole thing is planned by the president, and he knows the role of the AG, and the AG also knows his role or her role. And Ruto has seen, the president has seen that there's so many things that cannot really go through when there are some powers that the AG still has. So he's trying to transfer this power to Kosgei's department, because he knows that Kosgei is someone he can walk away with and try to maneuver. And they can try to maneuver anything, ways that they want to do. And again, remember, Kosgei is also coming from his tribe. So he's just trying to put close allies, people who will really respect whatever he says, not knowing what the law says. And that is what we are expecting as a country. And we've seen that there's so many things that are being done by this government that is against the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. They're trying to amass power, they're trying to amass wealth, so that when it comes 2027, they have a leeway, a close way to pass through. That is what he's really preparing to do. That is my opinion. because someone cannot
Okay.
justify why the role of the AG would be taken to the head of public. How is being a public leader or something related to someone who's dealing with legal matters?
Actually, things to do with the seal attorney general should have them, because those are legal things. Those are things. But we don't know. That's how our politics play. Now, what would be your take about the CS for Treasury? To our civil servants who might even not enjoy the Christmas. Christmas is coming, no salary. And the reason he gave when he appeared before the committee in Parliament, that it's because of El Nino. That is one. And secondly, there was they could not collect revenue because of El Nino. I do not have a background in accounts, but like, how would CS give such excuse? That is explanation why you cannot pay your civil servants, that because of it was raining, so the money was used in the El Nino. Yet at some point in the budget, the money was allocated.
I will say that the Treasury CS Njunguna, instead of giving us a solution as a leader in that docket, is simply complaining. Then he's incompetent. He should not be in that docket. Because why was he even appointed at that docket? He was appointed to bring solution because they knew that he's an expert in accounts and also in managing the finance of the country. And I will not agree with him that because El Nino has caused them not to collect revenue, because we have been collecting. In fact, El Nino is over. The rain which used to be in the country is no longer there, and the El Nino only happen in counties like maybe in northern Kenya, the Marsabit, the Garissa. Those countries usually do not give out much revenue. Most of the revenue is being collected in major cities and also in
Nairobi.
other counties. Also Nairobi. Nairobi has not been affected by El Nino, and people in Nairobi have worked and they have paid their taxes, and the county government has also collected revenue. So I think CS for Treasury Njuguna is simply taking advantage of the situation to lie to the public. And with them, they don't care. They speak, then they just want something to hang on. So if they could El Nino, they could have said maybe drought. So there is no need of lie to the public that you have not collected revenue because of the El Nino, so you are not going to pay the people. The people are entitlement to the slave because they have worked and they have to be
Yeah.
paid. Because people are going to go back to school next month. So how are we going to take our kids to school? How are we going to enjoy our Christmas? As culture in Kenya, people like Christmas. So you are limiting us. So the CS for Treasury is limiting the people. We can advise him not to play. Let him release the money. I think that was their statement. He's going to.
No, maybe if the money is released, maybe the money might be released when Christmas is over. So you're not going to enjoy. Our civil servants are not going to enjoy because they say the money might delay. Yeah, the money might delay.
The people must enjoy. It should not limit people.
The question that we should be asking
Yeah.
as a people is, as these guys or as the government stopped collecting revenue or taxes or whichever they do every day, when I get out of this place, I see the Kanjos doing their role. I see the KRA working everywhere to new established business departments. This is an excuse that is not really making sense at all. They've been collecting the money. They should just tell us that the money they collect, they use it, or it's being looted, taken somewhere. That is the truth of the matter, because these guys collect taxes, they collect revenue, they do it every day. There's an increase every day. Anytime they feel like they want to increase, they do. So that does not really make sense. It's not true. There's no truth in it. And remember, the CS is an expert. Is an academic. He's someone who has really gone to school. He has what it takes to be a good cabinet secretary for finance. But I think we have a problem. Sometimes these people in the people with professionals, the professionals are also being used to try to they're trying to make the professional looks like someone who has not gone to school, because even the explanation that he's giving does not make sense. When with this knowledge, you cannot give us such kind of an explanation. I think there's a problem that we're having as a country whereby, have you ever seen a thief that has been caught stealing?
None.
When you ask them why they're stealing, they will always have a reason. Most of
But
them, the
but
reason
like
will not make sense. That
but
is what
but
these guys are doing.
the reason that we usually hear from the government, they're talking of previous government. But if you look keenly, I think the UDA is a continuation of Jubilee government, because
It
the
is.
majority, around 99%, or if not, or maybe I might say around 85% of members who are in the Jubilee government are the ones now controlling the UDA government, because we had people like Kimani Chungwa, who was the chairman of the budget committee. We had Muturi, who was then the speaker. We have Duale, who was then the majority in the House. We have
More
the
comment.
president. Yeah, all of them, none of the leaders that now we see in Kenya Kwanza were in the Jubilee. So when most of the time we are being told of the previous government, which previous government? Because all of them were there, including the president himself.
These people have
Uh,
no, they have no
I
clue what
Hmm.
it takes to bring back the economy of the Republic of Kenya.
Oh,
I
okay.
think that is just a political sentiment, maybe for campaigns or to prepare for another election. Because when I think when Kibaki took from Moi, there was a problem in the country, but we never had Kibaki complain that Moi regime, the Kanu regime, and Moi's regime was the worst regime. Kibaki took the power and make sure that he make the country to run. Even when Uhuru took from Kibaki, there were some challenges because we were just 3 years old celebrating our constitution 2010. So implementing constitution 2010 was a bit challenging for the Uhuru regime the first time. So Uhuru took power. He did not complain. He goes on. He work on. So this complaint again, we are getting it with the UDA regime. Why
But
UDA regime?
let me remind you something about uh, the Kibaki administration. Kibaki administration, immediately they took power and he was sworn in. Primary education became free. It was not something that, and he did it. I think he did it through parliament. Very simple. It became free.
It is true, because even if you look at the manifesto that Kibaki had, immediately they took the reins of power. They started actualizing all the manifesto that they have presented before the people.
Mm,
And remember again, if we are supposed to say that between Kibaki and Ruto, who got the economy, who took the reins of power, and the country was really hailing from the economic issues, you'd say it's Kibaki, because remember those days, uh, Moi was running the government as a single person, and there
mhm,
was a lot of looting and everything. So you'd say that uh, Kibaki got into a government when he had very little, but within a short period of time, because he was a focused person, focused
mhm.
president, he turned the economy within a very short time. Our Daktari, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto,
Eh,
He wanted to use the same formula, but it's so unfortunate for him because starting from him, deputy, and everybody that is allied to, these are people who are out to loot the Republic of Kenya. These are people who are not really pro development of the Republic of Kenya. That is
what? Okay, thank you. Miguda, what were you saying?
I was saying before Kevin came in, I'll now have to say 2 points because Kevin has also brought another issue. So the Ruto regime, when they took power, why am I saying that it's a political sentiment? Because they are aware that 2027 they are going to meet Azimio as their opponent. We don't know who is going to be their flag bearer, but we hope that as things are turning, it's the obvious candidate, and they're aware of the obvious candidate. So they know that for them to go to election, they have to tell their supporters that it is the previous government, because they purport that it was the handshake government. They ran away from it, that it was the handshake government between Uhuru and Raila. Because Raila is still on the page, and Raila is still going to be their opponent. So they just want to say, this guy put us into this mess. We have tried to correct things. So we don't want him near this power again because he will give us more trouble. So this is just a political sentiment and a political strategy. To finish on the Marco Bura's point, I wanted to say that the UDA regime, or rather the government, Ruto, they want to be the dynasty of future within 10 years in power, because there have been complaints of the Kenyatta dynasty, the Moi dynasty, and the Odinga dynasty. The Kenyatta dynasty Kenyatta was a president for this country for 16 years. Moi was a president for 24 years. Jaramogi was opposition leader from 1964 until the time he died. And Raila's been the government. But you, one person who only became member of parliament in 1997, and you become president, and you want to be the president for the next 10 years, you want to be the dynasty of tomorrow. And not only him, even his friends. So maybe someone who is not in Kenya cannot understand, but the people who are living in this country, the people who interact in their daily service in this country or in this city, Nairobi, we know exactly what is happening. These people are literally looting, and they're not leaving anything to chance. They have get into each and every sector. They are everywhere. If you go, even if you go to the barber shop, everything, even if you want to do makeup, so they are everywhere. So they just want to be the dynasty of tomorrow.
Dynasty, very quick.
There's a fight for who is going to be the wealthiest person in the Republic of Kenya. That is why we are having a problem with this government, because any government employee, any cabinet secretary, the president, the deputy, and even the close allies, if you keenly look, even the people who supply anything in the Republic of Kenya, these are people who either supported William Samoei Ruto in the presidency, and do we say he's giving back? But he's giving back at the expense of the lives of the people of Kenya. There's an increase in the cost of living because he's trying to make his friends rich. We have a problem as a country. We have to fight for ourselves, because the people who are ruling us, they are looting because they are fighting for a supremacy of wealth and power. That is what we are having as a problem currently.
Okay, so what will happen to the country? Because if that is because like there's a corruption everywhere. Like that's what the order of the day talk about, of even KCSE, just that the result was just released the other day. The Right Honorable Prime Minister talked about on how some contract were cancelled just because these guys never wanted to give a kickback. Talk of edible oil, how it was brought into the country. Anything that you want to talk about, at least at some point, is questionable. And I think the KK administration is one of the administration with so many court cases than any other administration. I don't know whether you've realized that. the court cases that the president Ruto has, his administration has so many court cases as compared, because like within that short period of time, that he has been, I don't know, is a 100 and is it is how many? It's almost 1 year and a half, right? It's not even half. But if you look at within that period, the court cases that has gone there, is higher as compared to other administration. Everything in his administration has broken record. Foreign trips, corruption, call it.
Yes, before I know you're almost finishing, but allow me
Yeah.
to say something about the edible oil.
Mm.
The reason why the government imported the edible oil, it was because there was a deficit on the supply of the edible oil, and that made a significant increase in the prices of the oil, edible oil. And for this reason, the government, through the CS and their close allies, they took the tender, went and imported this edible oil. There are so many even levies and taxes that these guys, the importers, never paid. And then we realized as a country that the edible oil that was imported into the Republic of Kenya, it was unfit for consumption. And then we asked ourselves, remember the people who imported it were close allies of the president. Then where are we being as a
but there was a presser the following day saying that the oil is okay.
It is, why are they even contradicting? They want to kill the people of Kenya because they're trying to sanitize a corruption that is not really going to help the people of Kenya. If something is unfit, where are they, the people of CAPS? Where would they go? Because they've been given something, because the government is trying to usurp even their powers. That is why they keep on giving us contradicting stories.
But that one is the same as the one in the previous administration about the sugar. Yeah, you remember the sugar? So this is something that has been recurrent in administration, whereby stuff that are not good for consumption are given to Kenya. Then at some point, say and I don't know how even somebody who is doing that. If you're a Kenyan citizen and you are giving Kenyans stuff that is not good for their consumption, and you are just pretty sitting well with your family, knowing very well that Kenyans have consumed something that is going to interfere with their life. That's not nice. I think like it is high time as leaders we should start protecting and taking care of our people. That is what leadership requires. If anything that is happening, Kenya ni nchi ya dili. Unaenda kutafuta kitu, hata tu wananchi wa kawaida tu, mazejo dili iko aje? Hii mambo ya dili tutaiwacha aje? When we leave this mambo ya kuishi kwa dili. Anyway, we don't have much to say. Maybe your closing remarks, Mr. Makobura, then we go to Miguda.
My closing remarks, hii mambo ya dili inaenda kutupea shida as a country. Hii mambo ya dili imefanya wale ambao walifanya KCPE wasipate ile the right the students who did their KCPE never got the right result. Some of them never even did things to do with there's some subjects that were included in the reports, subjects that they never even did. There are people who worked hard and never got their results. And then this is even affecting the morale of every student, because someone cannot study from nursery to class 8, and then when they know they're doing their best, then someone comes and do deals that are hurting the children of the Republic of Kenya just because they wanted a kickback. They are stopping. Allow me to close my remarks by saying the people of Kenya should wake up. We should stand up for ourselves. We should fight for the rights of ourselves, the right of the future generation, and stand with truth. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Miguda, what do you say?
Okay, in my closing remark, I will say that these leaders, they so need to protect us. Instead of
Mm.
protecting us, they are killing us. So we are telling them that Kenyans are not going to allow them to Kenyans are going to die, and also to tell them that the power of the people are more important, even the power they are having right now. So they let them just continue their dealings with their jokes. Moi tried it and Moi failed. People have tried it. Amin tried it in Uganda and Amin failed. We have seen people who are trying these deals. So one day the law will catch up with them. If not the law, the people will catch up with them. So that is my closing remarks.
Thank you so much. And if you're new in this channel, kindly subscribe to our channel and invite a friend. And if you had something that you want us to discuss, you can reach us on our platform, and we will appreciate so much. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking your time to discuss issues that we feel are affecting our country. And I'll see you next week on Sunday, same time, same place. Thank you so much.